Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talkshow podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talkshow podcast with Emmy Hikins and Trevor Gear.
For him, and he did a lot of good stuff. He wrote a book, actually, now I think of it, which I did read, called Still Me, and it's very worth a read. Christopher Reeve, Still Me, that what's saying basically, despite this appalling accident, it was still him. And in fact, I think he got that title because when the dust had settled and he was in his hospital bed, and Dana came to see him, well, she was there most of the time anyway, and he said to her one day, "Look, I know your situation, you know mine. I'm perfectly happy if you want to go and make another life with somebody else," which obviously was a very selfless thing to say. And she said, "No way, what are you talking about?" She said, "No way, you are still you, still the person she loved." And that gave him the title of the book. I think he died about 5, 6, 7 years later in the early 2000s, I believe. Having really made a mark, he talked to all sorts of impressive people and politicians, desperately trying to get stem cell work started. And he came to Britain because we were pioneers, maybe still are, in the idea of growing stem cells to replace broken bones and broken spines, things like that. And that work has advanced quite a lot because of Christopher Reeve and what he did. Anyway, I'm going off track, but Dana looked after him, gave everything to him for the rest of his life. And obviously his son did as well as he grew up into his teens and a bit older. And then I think a couple of years after Superman died, after Christopher Reeve died, Dana was found to have stage 4 terminal lung cancer. She never smoked in her life, had done all this wonderful caring for her husband and, of course, being both parents in a way to their son. And then she got an awful but an awful thing happened to her as well. And I'm not suggesting that was people loaded with bad luck. But you could look at that situation and think, well, she did deserve a life after that, back, a freer life, not tied down. I'm sure she didn't look at it like that. But yeah, so maybe some people in their lives, we can all find stories or know stories of people who have, illnesses with their children, all sorts of things that really sort of tug at the heartstrings. So yeah, all I would say on this is that I don't, like you really, I don't believe people are born with bad luck. I really don't. I don't think there's someone with a box somewhere dishing out bad luck tokens. I think life happens, and I think that's what effectively you said, that in all of our lives there are good things, great things, not so good things, bad things, unlucky things. We can all, I'm sure, list out things we think we're unlucky about. And actually it's an interesting phrase that it's something I've tried never to say. I'm sure I have occasionally in life, but I thought a long time ago, I don't want to ever use the phrase, just my luck. That's just my luck. I'm caught in the traffic jam, I'm late for an appointment, it's just my luck. And most of us have said that along the way, and because it can feel like that circumstances have conspired against us. But yeah, just my luck is a phrase that we often hear, but that I always think it's best not to say, because sometimes what we say is what goes into our brain. And I think if we say and think, it's easy to say this, but if we say and think positive things, that's actually telling our brain that things are positive. Something I may have said before, but we're told by a psychologist that actually you can fool your brain by smiling, especially if you're a bit fed up or down in the dumps, whatever. By smiling, no one else there can look in the mirror or just smile. And sometimes you might think, oh, I don't feel like smiling, and you think I'm grinning like a Cheshire cat. But actually, these psychologists, psychiatrists even would say that fools your brain into thinking you're okay. And what it does, it then pumps dopamine and endorphins. If you try hard enough to smile, it can happen, even if you don't get the eyes smiling with you, because that would be a genuine smile. But the physical act, I think, is using 43 muscles to smile. Your brain can think, yeah, things are great. And you suddenly feel a surge, this is the idea, of feeling a bit better. So that's one that is perhaps worth a try, even though you can feel a bit foolish when you do it.
Yeah, just
Right,
before we
next
move on
question,
from that,
Cuz.
sorry, but
Go
just
on.
before we move on from that, I just thought about something. There's got to be luck, right? There's got to be luck. Well, what about people that win the lottery? Oh yeah, they have to buy it. They have to buy it, don't they? They have to buy the ticket. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor Gear and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.